Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, a good Monday morning to you, and welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson in charge of things this morning. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. We're in the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show, a service of Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly. Texting services courtesy of West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street. Shop Tony this Christmas season. Check out the unsurpassed quality of Johnny O. Take 50% off many sport coats. Shop Johnson & Murphy shoes and accessories and select outerwear and more. Visit bestmastertailor.com or Tony the Taylor's Facebook page if you need more information. Of course, big news is the weather. It's a little snow out there this morning. It's going to continue off and on throughout the day. Now, not the biggest snowfall as far as accumulation goes. However, driving is going to be pretty tricky, especially later in the day, because temperatures are going to continue to drop. It's one of those rare situations where your evening commute is going to be worse than your morning commute was. Really not sticking a whole lot right now, but it's going to later today. So just use caution. Of course, we'll be keeping you updated throughout the day here on the radio and online as well. Coming up a little bit later on, Tom Susman is going to join us. It was announced on Friday that the Kanawha County Emergency Ambulance Service Authority and Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield have reached a contract agreement on the reimbursements from Highmark. So their spokesman, Tom Susman, is going to join us to talk about that. Plus, Danny Jones is here, and your calls and texts are always welcome, too. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. We have a few guests to start us off. They want to welcome in first David Payne, who is from Charleston Riverfront Watersports. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I was just sitting there thinking, man, nothing would be better right now than to be on the river on a day like today. But I say that in jest, but you got some things going on right through the holiday season. I mean, it would make it perfect, right?
Correct. We started a service. It's called the Charleston Christmas Story Tour. It's kind of like a Bronco tour through the city of Charleston. It will take people out to look at the lights of Charleston, just take them to the iconic neighborhoods. And those kinds of things. All
right. Well, talk about the part on the river. I mean, how did you start this company? Why did you start this company?
Basically, I started this company, Charleston Riverfront Watersports, just because I love being on the water, first of all. And Charleston really lacked that here. I love being on the water, just want to give other people the opportunity to get on the water. We rent out basically pontoons, kayaks, paddle boards, hydro bikes. It just gives people something to do when they actually visit the city of Charleston.
And again, we're talking about it's winter time. Well, it's not officially winter, but it looks like it out there right now. But I know there was a lot of activities going on the river Saturday night. I know St. Albans had their boat parade Saturday night. There was all kinds of cool things going on even this time of year.
Correct. Yeah, boats are still out in the water. Actually, we keep our boats on the water all year long. So if there happens to be a day where it actually becomes warm and someone wants to get out in the water, we'll take them.
All right. And it's an exciting venture, but you're kind of like a serial entrepreneur, man. You've always got all kinds of things going on. Talk about some of the other things you've got going on.
Well, there's a lot of things going on, really. But really, it's all based around Charleston Riverfront Watersports. I have an Airbnb that's ran through Charleston Riverfront Watersports. Basically the Top Soft tour we're going to have this summer. We're going to have the kids safari tour on the water. We don't have a zoo here or a aquarium, but it's our way of basically getting the kids out in the water and showing them wildlife. So just a lot of cool things.
Indeed. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Poor indoor air quality can cause a variety of health issues, allergies, respiratory problems, and more. Pinnacle offers specialized indoor air quality services for residential, commercial, and industrial type settings. Visit pinnaclecorp.net because what you don't know can't hurt you. Now, you also know a little something about, even though I think you're retired now, but you also know a little something about the Charleston Police Department and their annual toy drive. This is something that you've been a part of over the years.
Oh, sure, definitely. It's a great program. I'm glad that they're actually keeping up and going because they service a lot of kids throughout the Kanawha Valley. It's something that's I always look forward to every year, and I'm glad these guys are still looking forward to it.
Indeed. And these guys are, have you introduced yourselves again, gentlemen?
Hey, I'm Travis Bales, Charleston Police Department.
And?
John Brown with Astoric Auto of Charleston.
Also known as Big John.
Yeah.
When you're large in stature and you have the name John, you're automatically Big John.
Yeah,
you realize that, right?
Much, yeah.
All right.
It just goes with the name, I guess, or the size.
All right, Travis, let's start with you. Let's talk about why does Charleston Police do this and what is the program?
Well, every year for the last 6 years, thanks to the now retired Lieutenant Payne, we've gathered toys for as many kids as we can help in the community. Prior to that, we would do the shop with a cop, but Lieutenant Payne figured, this would be a better way to reach more children. Mm-hmm. So with the help of Astoric Auto, we've and all our other sponsors, we've been able to reach hundreds of children each year. So we're excited to keep that trend going. We'll be up at the Southridge Sam's Club this year on the parking lot, taking toys this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And what's the times on that?
We'll be there from 8 to 9 in the morning till about 8 or 9 at night.
Well, David, I want to ask you, what was the original idea behind this, about getting this thing, and how long has it been going on?
This will be the 6th year. Okay. So basically, when it first started, it was during COVID. I reached out to our FOP organization to see if we had money for Shop with a Cop. And that year, they didn't have any money. And I said, basically, I never really wanted us to be in that position again where we couldn't go out and help kids. So I went to the chief at the time and said, hey, listen, what do you think about a toy drive? And he said, let's roll with it. My idea back then basically was having a truck, getting our truck, going up underneath the interstate, and hopefully getting like a truckload of toys. One thing led to the next, and it just became bigger and better. Reached out a lot of my friends at Lowe's. Astoric actually called me that week, and they even made it bigger and better, and that's how it all started, basically.
How many, if you had to put a ballpark figure on either the number of kids that you served or the number of toys you distributed, either one?
Well, I think last year it was probably close to 1,000. We basically had about 800 kids that signed up, but we also gave toys to our community centers, our daycares. Mm-hmm. I mean, so many toys went out last year. It was a huge, I would say probably close to 1,000.
And how do kids sign up for this?
Next week, after we've gathered most of our toys and know how many we can help, we will open a sign-up link on the Charleston Police Department Facebook page. There's also a Facebook page just for the Winter Wonderland Toy Drive itself, which you can find easily off our page or just do a Facebook search. But we will open that up on there for anybody to sign up. They can list how many kids they have, their ages, and we'll until we're full, we'll help as many kids as we can.
And this is open to any parent or grandparent that wants to put a kid on, or I guess anybody for that matter, right?
Yeah. I'm not going to turn any kids away. As long as we have the toys, we're going to give them out.
All right. And John, let's talk about Astoric Auto's part in this whole thing.
Well, Rob King and Lieutenant Payne kind of really got this started with Astoric Auto of Charleston. And then I think the following year I became, Rob said, hey, man, we need some more help in, getting this thing out and word out about the toy drive that we're coming involved with. And Astoric is on board with it every year. Jamie Spears, he's a very good owner, and he wants to try to help the community all that he can. So anything for the Charleston Police Department, I say, hey, Jamie, I need a check. He's like, okay, go upstairs and talk to Terry. But if you got toys and you want to drop them off, like Sergeant Travis said up in our last interview, which is a good idea. So if you see a Charleston Police Department, just, flagging or whatever, just driving, and you can't make it up to the new location at the Sam's parking lot, just say, hey, could you get these toys to Lieutenant Sergeant Travis and Big John for the toy drive so they could drop them off to our truck that we're going to have at the station at the location. So,
anybody know what the hottest toys are this year? What everybody's going to be asking for? Because I don't have kids, so I wouldn't know.
I have no idea. My kids are on that borderline to where they more want electronics and clothes. So I'm not really Not really sure about the tickle me Elmos of the day.
Or the Cabbage Patch.
Yeah.
But see, my generation, it was all Hot Wheels and Matchbox. I'm old.
Yeah.
It was all that stuff. So about Astorg's Auto, and you guys always go above and beyond when it comes to doing things like this. Do you get to actually go out when they distribute the toys? Or I know you folks are probably usually there, aren't you?
Yes, I'm there. We have it set up at the Civic Center. I'm sure we'll be at the same location. And some parents, they work and don't have, some of the kids are still little and not able to. I guess they don't have babysitters that day. Yeah. So you do see some of the kids come in with the parents, and it is kind of a real touchy feeling. Lieutenant Payne walk the kid around and let them pick out whatever toys that they want, and then, it's just good. It's for a good cause, and it's a really good feeling.
The kids in the candy store analogy goes on the kids in the toy store.
So we'll tell them go pick 3-4 toys, and because some people will come in and say, well, I signed up and I didn't get the email, and if we have some leftovers, Lieutenant Payne and Sergeant Travis said, we don't want to leave any kids out. No one's going to be left behind. So we're going to try to distribute as many as that we can.
If I know Astorg is the kind of the presenting sponsor on this, but if there are any other businesses out there or organizations that would like to get involved, civic groups or maybe a school as a service project would like to take this on, how would they do that? How would they get involved?
Well, you can reach out to me on my cell phone, 304-415-5208. You can stop by Astorg Auto of Charleston, ask for John Brown or Rob King. You can drop toys off at any of our locations. We also have a location on Patrick Street Plaza, Astorg location, and also we're up at the main facilities up at South Ridge next to Applebee's.
All right, give us the details again. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, it'll be this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 12th, 13th, and 14th at the Sam's Club parking lot. You won't be able to miss us. We're going to have all kinds of decorations. We'll be there taking toys and getting them into the hands of the kids that need them.
What if I know Thursday night the Charleston Christmas Parade is being held. I know you guys are going to be really, really busy there, but you probably have some information you probably would accept if somebody wanted to. I mean, you don't want to get bogged down with toys when you're trying to direct traffic or whatever, but not a horrible idea.
Yeah,
you bring them down there.
I'll probably be on Summer Street near our office there in Slack Plaza, so if you track me down, I'll make sure I can I'll take them. I'll find something to do with them.
What about cash donations if somebody wants to do that?
I know that the Charleston Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association is taking cash donations. There's a link to that on the Facebook page as well.
All right. Well, guys, it's always a pleasure to have you here. We're glad to be able to help you out with this. Thanks for stopping by. We wish you the best of luck with everything this weekend. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right, hang out with me 1 second here. It's 9:19. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. Get the Huston's Holiday Pack, a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza, 10 breadsticks, 12 hot wings, and a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi, only $33.99. Former Charleston Mayor Danny Jones is going to join us a little bit later on, and Tom Susman on the way next on The Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
My name's Chris Miller. I'm president of Dutch Miller Automotive. Jarrett Construction completely renovated and helped redesign Dutch Miller Kia in South Charleston. The fit and the finish and the quality of the project is exceptional. He has an attention to detail and an eye for that kind of stuff. You always want to give your best to your customer. It's just as important to him as it is to you. If you're ever looking to build anything, I'd call Jarrett Construction because you know exactly you're going to get something excellent every single time.
Call on Jarrett Construction.
When I set out to build our firm, it was built for greatness. It was built for you, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
The latest in news, talk, and sports on 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Visit jarrett-construction.com for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Boats, bikes, Broncos. This holiday season, discover Charleston with Charleston Riverfront Watersports, Charleston's #1 river and road adventure company. Hop into our Bronco Raptor for a Christmas lights and holiday tour like no other. Cruise through Holly Jolly Brawley on our premium e-bikes. Or give the ultimate gift, a kids safari adventure. This wildly popular, family-friendly river safari includes kids' binoculars and activity sheets for non-stop fun. Book your holiday tour or give the gift of adventure today at charlestonriverfrontwatersports.com.
Welcome back to the show. It's 9:22, the Dave Allen Show and 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Salango Law Life tonight continuing over at Go-Mart Ballpark, and it'll run through the first of the year every night except for Christmas night. Get your tickets in advance, please. Please get your tickets in advance by going to dblightthenight.com. Former Charleston Mayor turned author Danny Jones is going to join us a little bit later on. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. The announcement came Friday that the Kanawha County Emergency Ambulance Authority and Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, as it pertains to reimbursement for the ambulance services, had reached an agreement. Tom Susman is a spokesperson for the ambulance service, and he joins us now. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Happy snowy, was this Monday?
Yeah, it's a Monday. It's a Monday all around. So what was, we had you on when this news first came out about the, what's the word I'm looking for? About the conflict, if you will, right, for like a better term. What was the major bone of contention here?
Well, the issue was that it cost a certain amount to deliver ambulance services in this county, and the level of reimbursement that we were getting from Highmark was below that cost, and we needed to readjust those rates. Don't believe that they were in a position that they wanted to do that. And so if you can't make it work, then you basically have to decide how you want to proceed. And the authority decided to give them a notice of cancellation. And then we kind of went back and forth for about a month and a half and finally came to an agreement and rescinded the cancellation.
Well, and when I had you on a couple of months ago when this news first came out, we were hopeful that we would get it settled and get it settled relatively quickly. And it seems to me like you did.
Well, it took a while, but what we wanted to do is there were folks that were making decision on their Medicare Advantage for Blue Cross Blue Shield or Highmark or Humana or whomever. And so we wanted to give them plenty of notice of what we were doing. And we also wanted to give them notice, the deadlines today, to let them know that, hey, we've gotten it resolved.
Okay. All right. So I guess it took a little bit longer than I thought then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And how were the negotiations? I don't know if you were actually part of it. I know you're the spokesperson, but how were the negotiations?
They were fine. You go back and forth. It's a normal negotiations, they get mad at you, you get mad at them, they get mad at you, you get mad at you, then you come to a
luckily
solution.
you have a little bit of background in that, being in the legislature as you were for years and being in the political game, right. So you had a little bit of background in this.
And I'd worked with the EMS Coalition probably 20 years ago before I went into state government with Governor Wise, and we'd gone back and forth. So this is there, and the reality is that the cost to deliver ambulance service is pretty significant. You have to be ready to deliver that. And the folks that are paying for these services, especially these third-party payers, insurance companies, they need to pay their fair share. We weren't asking them to pay dollars above what was their responsibility. We weren't trying to, have them pay for people who couldn't pay.
What would have been, Tom, the worst-case scenario here?
Probably the worst-case scenario is that had there not been a contract come to or an agreement agreed to, then folks who were in Blue Cross Blue Shield would have been billed by the ambulance agency and not billed to Blue Cross, and then we would have had to go for those folks to collect. And Blue Cross is one of the few ambulance companies that or a few insurance companies rather, that if you're a non-contracted provider, they send the payment directly to the member, and the member cannot do an assignment of benefits to the provider. So like if you go into the hospital and you have to go to the emergency room, people sign papers, those bills are paid to the hospital and not to the individual.
Right.
With Blue Cross, they want those monies to go to the member if they're a non-contracted provider. And for emergent care, you don't get to choose your provider. You don't get to choose the patient. So if you're a physical therapist, not to pick on Senator Tarr, but if you're a physical therapist and I want to get service, his folks can take a look and see if he's got insurance and don't have insurance, and they can deal with it accordingly. With an emergency call, you can't make that decision. You have to go take care of the patient. You have to go bring that person to the hospital. That's the duty of an ambulance company. Well, in that situation, those reimbursements should be treated differently than scheduled care. And so one of the byproducts of this is that I think the authority and other members of the coalition are going to ask the legislature to deal with this as it's been dealt with, I think, in 40 some other states, where for emergent care, there is an automatic assignment of benefits if the member wants it.
Talking to Tom Susman, it's 9:27. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. And I think there is a misconception sometimes, Tom, that people will think that, well, if I have to go to the ER, whether it's an ambulance call or whatever, that I can be turned away. They cannot turn you away.
No, you can't. First off, in an ambulance, an emergency ambulance is not going to turn you away. In the hospital, there's this federal law. It's called EMTALA. Don't tell me. I can't tell you what it exactly stands for, but it requires them to triage and stabilize. And so, yeah, you're not going to get turned away from the hospital.
Are you at liberty to discuss the actual negotiations? I mean, any of the details that went into that?
Well, we worked through and we made it where what we came to an agreement on includes our commercial business and ASO business, and it also covers Medicare Advantage, and it's a pretty decent. What's also been a nice byproduct is we've heard from other insurance companies that we were going to go to talk with them about contracts. So it's really opened the door for multiple contracts with different insurance companies.
Well, we have a story written about it. Aaron Parker did Friday afternoon at WVMetroNews.com if you want to go read more about it. Well, I guess congratulations, or glad that it got taken care of. Well, congratulations is not the right word, but I'm glad it got taken care of.
I mean, did we get everything we wanted? No. Did they get everything they wanted? No. So I guess it's a good agreement.
All right. Can we talk a little politics while you're here?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we got the interims are going on now. People starting to look ahead to the special session, to the regular session. Anything that sticks out to you that you think that is going to be big this time around? I mean, it is an election year. You know, all the House seats are up, some of the Senate seats are up. So, does anything get done?
I was talking with someone, and I think they're going to try and look at this this tax on intangibles again, and I think this whole property tax workaround to try and figure out how you deal with that. Because I don't know that it's functioning as well. I heard that's always a good one. And then the governor keeps talking about some kind of tax relief, so I don't know where that takes us. And then if the federal government does not renew these federal tax credits, then the question is going to become is what does the state do? When I'm saying tax credits for the Affordable Care Act, what does the state do for folks who are uninsurable? Those are folks who are too sick to get insurance.
Mm-hmm. And what about PEI?
There'll be some discussion on PEI, but a 3% increase compared to what's going on in the private market, that's not a bad increase.
Vaccines, I'm hearing.
That will be a big one. That one we'll be back to the vaccine, and that's one where, and I think what's interesting is so within the Republican Party, you now have the closed Republican primaries. Mm-hmm. So therefore, I think that the members who are nominated from the Republican Party will be much more conservative than a lot of the current members by virtue of that. So then does that open the door for moderate Democrats, and I mean moderate, not the far right, far left, to pick up some seats? It's going to change the whole complexion of the legislature.
I don't know. Here's my take on it when it comes to, and you're absolutely right about the Republican Party. I mean, some of the members that are in there now, and I'm not going to mention anyone specifically, but there are certain members that serve in this area that are considered pretty far right. But we're now seeing people that are saying that those people aren't far right enough.
Exactly. And then you have a whole group of moderates who are running candidates to try and take out members of the state Senate who are too conservative. And I think their issue is going to be this closed primary, because the closed primary is going to lean even more to the far right.
Do you think Senator Justice wants to come back and run for governor in 2016? 2016. What year is
2018.
No, you're wrong. 2020.
Yeah, okay.
We're in the wrong decade.
We're the wrong. I think probably there's some nostalgia, but then when you think about it, being in the Senate's not a bad gig. I mean, probably what they call it, the most exclusive men's club or club in the world. I don't know. And then you come back here, and then you got to worry about all the various things that happen. So I would say not.
All right. Well, we'll see. All right. Dom Susman, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show, man. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks, sir.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane, your family and locally owned Ford dealership. Generations, providing their customers with X-Plan discount pricing on the purchase of select new Ford vehicles. You pay what Ford suppliers pay. They're also offering 0% financing for new Fords. Visit them off the Hurricane Exeter online at Generations Ford, generationsford.com. That is one destination for every generation, Generations Ford. See dealer for details. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Danny Jones coming up next on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
Ready to ride? Well, let's roll then. Members Choice West Virginia Federal Credit Union makes it easy to hit the road with a low interest rate and favorable terms. Right now, during MCWV's limited time auto loan special, you can get rates as low as 4.75% APR and terms up to 75 months on new and used vehicles. That means lower payments, less stress, and more road trips and everyday drives in the car you really want. Don't settle for less when you can drive more. Apply today at memberschoicewv.com. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional restrictions may apply.
Hi, I'm Brittany Hedrick. As an environmental project manager at CEC, working in West Virginia, the land taught me respect and responsibility. Whether it's navigating complex regulations or overseeing site assessments, I ensure every project thrives. CEC isn't just where I work, it's where I make a difference. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Boats, bikes, Broncos. This holiday season, discover Charleston with Charleston Riverfront Watersports, Charleston's #1 river and road adventure company. Hop into our Bronco Raptor for a Christmas lights and holiday tour like no other. Cruise through Holly Jolly Brawley on our premium e-bikes. Or give the ultimate gift, a kid safari adventure. This wildly popular, family-friendly river safari includes kids' binoculars and activity sheets for non-stop fun. Book your holiday tour or give the gift of adventure today at charlestonriverfrontwatersports.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 minutes away from 10. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson in charge of things this morning. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Rich the Realtor and Meeks Realty Group. Check out this beautiful home in one of Winfield's most desirable neighborhoods, just minutes away, I should say, from award-winning schools, modern updates, open floor plan, and a large stylish kitchen. Perfect for cooking and gathering, spacious primary suite, walk-in closet, updated bath too. Outside offers space great for play, for pets, and relaxing. Move-in ready. It's a beautiful home. If you need more information, you can email Rich Klein. It's Rich Klein, Klein with a K, K-L-I-N-E, richklein66@gmail.com, or just call Rich the Realtor, 304-932-7488. Later today, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barrett and me. Monday means we're going to introduce you to another great mayor from around the state of West Virginia. Well, of course, going to have a lot on the weather. Greg Carey is going to review the football championships. Great games. And, of course, Open Line West Virginia. Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and me, coming up at noon today, powered by Salango Law. On this show tomorrow, the folks from the Clay Center are going to stop by, and Dr. Casey Sachs from Bridge Valley will be here as well. Do want to throw this out there, speaking of the championships. We had a lot of folks asking about Joe Bricado. Joe Bricado, we call him the hardest working man in sports. And, of course, he does writing for us. He does on air. He does videography. He just got ran over on the sidelines. I don't mean to laugh about it, during one of the games over at Lately, and a little scary there for a minute. I wasn't at the game, but I had a friend of mine that was watching it on Metro News Television, and he texted me and he said, "Is Joe all right?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." And it was during the Saturday afternoon game, and I was able to talk to Joe Saturday night. He was taken to the hospital. I mean, you imagine the force of those players coming right at you, and you didn't see it coming, and he got ran over. But Joe Bro is a trooper, and he was taken to the hospital, and released and is recovering. He did have to watch the Nitro game from his hotel room, from what I understand, though, because it's probably not a good idea for you to go back on the sideline. So they put him, he went back to the hotel and finished the game there. But Joe Bro is going to be all right. Danny Jones is with us right now. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Danny Bro.
Danny Bro. You like that?
No, I don't.
Danny Bro. You know, I want to ask you this because, of course, there's a lot on the weather right now. Not a huge snowstorm by any stretch of the imagination, but it is going to cause some slick travel already a little bit, but especially like this afternoon, it's going to be really, really slick as folks start to head home. As a mayor, I'm sure you probably don't miss that, do you? Having to watch the weather. I mean, I know you had quality people in charge of the streets, but I mean, you got to be a big part of it as well. That's probably one part of being mayor you don't miss.
Right. And, they make a big deal out of this new mayor in New York. Mm-hmm. You know what he's going to find out? He's going to find out about snow, about garbage, about police and fire. He doesn't realize that's all part of being in the weeds as mayor. Mm-hmm. And he thinks this is going to be, have a foreign policy and, invade Israel or do something like that. But
he needs to be more concerned about, about the Bronx than he does Israel.
Just the nuts and bolts of being mayor.
Yeah.
And you got to have a certain amount of salt backed up over there at the street department. And you have to... picking up garbage. It's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And if you think it's not a big deal, try going without it. We had a garbage strike in 1972, and I was working at the graveyard. I was digging graves. And they came up there, and this one guy's still alive. They came up there, and there was 3 guys in a car, and the guy in the back seat was as big as the back seat. And he has a shotgun. And they told us to get off the hill and be at the council meeting on Monday night. And it was a raucous council meeting.
Who was mayor at that time?
Hutchinson.
Okay, Hutchinson, okay.
And so garbage started piling up. It was a street department. No, was it a garbage strike? It was a garbage strike. In the street department, everybody went out. And it was, and Hutchinson stood up and beat him, and a bunch of people. People work for the city generationally. I mean, you have family after family that their kids, their grandparents, everybody, they stay at the city. Well, this interrupted that because they fired a lot of people, mm-hmm. and I left. Mm-hmm. I went and started selling bottled water for Tyler Mountain.
Remember, that was one of your jobs you had.
Yeah.
What a job. I mean, everybody knows mayor, sheriff, and all this other stuff, but if you got down with a piece of paper and you wrote down, how many different jobs have you had?
35.
30. Now, that's 35 different places you worked or 35 different different occupations?
Well, it's not that many jobs because, I mean, I was a waiter at Greenbrier Military School. Mm-hmm. I've got that listed. That's not a job. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got paid, but, and I was on the Civic Center Board of Directors. That's not a job. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't know. I had quite a few, and sometimes I'd work 2 and 3 at one time. When I was a junior in high school, I worked 2 jobs at one time.
How are things going with the book?
Well, we completely sold out, and I've got 200 more copies coming in. But
and when will those be in?
I'd say 10 days.
What's the since we talked last week, people that, I mean, because I know you said you're completely sold out, so I don't know whether you have any new copies out there, but maybe somebody's read some of it or somebody let somebody borrow it or whatever. What are you hearing out there about the book? What do people think about it? What's the response been?
Well, I don't know if anybody didn't like it, they would tell me.
Well, I would tell you because I'm your friend. I'd probably tell you off the air, but I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I finished it in like a couple of evenings, back to back.
Yeah, and I have a friend in North Carolina who lives in Wilmington, and he used to practice law here, and he practiced with Rudy DiTrapano. Mm-hmm. And he called me. He said, "Man, that was great." And it was there. It's a mix of my crazy life when I was young, but there's some Charleston history there.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's not just when you were young. I mean, you also you dive into a lot of your last administration and the battle with the needle issue and some other things that are a little bit more current or within the last 10, the last term that you had.
Yeah. Well, just for the record, I just thought I'd mention it.
Mm-hmm.
Huntington closed down their needle program.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the right thing to do.
So you mentioned, you asked me if I saw Marjorie Taylor Greene on 60 Minutes last night. I did not. I meant to watch it, and I forgot. I'm going to go check it out later today online. What's your takeaway from the MTG interview?
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
I felt sorry for her. I mean, her views and my views obviously are different. She doesn't think we ought to be involved in Israel or Iran or any of that stuff because I'm America first. And, folks, we had an America First movement. Please Google it. America First Committee. And Google it. It was led by a guy named Charles Lindbergh.
Mm-hmm.
And it helped get us into World War II. She's an isolationist. And but she didn't deserve to be treated the way Trump treated her. Call her Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he never had a bigger supporter in Congress.
Yeah, I think "had" is the key word there.
Yeah, and it's just because she wanted to open up those Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he got mad about.
Right.
And started calling her names.
And now she's announced her resignation. What do you think she does next? Think she runs for something else?
No.
You don't
I
think
think being in public life has really cost her.
Mm-hmm.
Cost her marriage. I think it hurt her construction business. Now, she's opened up a gym, and, she deadlifts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've read that.
Yeah, she's a really strong lady physically.
Mm-hmm.
She's,
in my opinion, she's going to either have her own show or she's going to be a frequent contributor because she's whether you agree with her or not, Danny, she's very well spoken in what she says. I'm going to say this as nicely as I can. She is not hard to look at, which helps. I know that sounds like the most sexist statement in the world, but it's true, male or female. If you're appealing on camera, people are going to watch.
Well, it won't be on Fox.
No, it won't be on Fox.
If it would be on anybody, it would be on CNN.
Mm-hmm.
But she's been on with Dana Bash a few times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I like her, and I felt bad for her, and I just don't know why President Trump has to call people names. I don't understand.
That's what he does, and in many cases, that's what his base wants, and they love it.
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene used to be part of that base, a leading part of that base.
Yeah.
And I think it's sad, and she based her campaign, her career right around him. Hey, there's I just was watching up here on the TV,
mm-hmm.
and Netflix came across the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And on Netflix, there's a thing called The Reckoning. And it's done by Curtis Jackson,
mm-hmm.
also known as 50 Cent.
Yep.
And it's about P. Diddy.
Yeah.
He's as evil as they come.
Yeah.
He's as bad as it gets. Do you know that there's every reason to believe, and there's a trial next year on a guy that was involved. It looks like he's the one that paid to have Tupac killed.
A friend of mine who's really into the into that scene, posted something on social media that he watched it and he called it complete garbage. But now I don't know. I mean, it's in the eyes, ears of the beholder. I get that, but he wasn't a fan of it. I mean, my friend who really follows stuff was not a fan of it. I don't know if he just didn't believe the story or what, or he didn't believe 50's story.
Well, most of it's a matter of record.
Mm-hmm.
And
people don't like to have their heroes attacked. Maybe that's what it is. They don't want to believe things about their heroes. Maybe that's it. So I'll have to check that out because I love stuff like that when it comes to entertainment biographies and things like that. I want to ask you, you've been following the whole Pete Hegseth drug boat story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your take on it?
I wouldn't have voted for him to begin with. I don't like him. I mean, I don't think he belongs there, and I don't think anything will come of it. The Democrats don't have. They will control Congress next year. They will win the election. They will take over at least the House of Representatives and maybe the Senate. I don't know how many Senate seats are up or where they are up. But I would look for Trump. Once that happens in the House, I would look for him to be impeached. And that might be a count.
I was watching one of the, I think it was This Week yesterday morning, and they were talking to one leading Republican. I don't remember exactly who it was right now, but they were talking to him, and they asked him about the drug boat story. And it's just, you could tell it was something right out of the Trump playbook because he turned it around and said, why the American people don't care about this. The American people care about this.
Was it Tom Cotton?
It was the pardoning of the foreign leader that was in West Virginia. He was in prison in West Virginia, and he was a convicted drug dealer. Sold a whole lot of cocaine in his time, and Trump pardoned him. Former president of one of these countries, and
Honduras.
Honduras. Yeah, and
it's obscene.
And they said that the this representative said, well, the American people don't care about things like that. And
440 tons of cocaine coming in this country, they don't care about that.
That's what they say. Exactly. That was my response as well. But Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine, a podcast promoting healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetroNews.com, under the podcast menu. Got a text here for you. It says, ask Mayor Danny. I guess you're always referred to as mayor, aren't you? Even when you're not, it's kind of like being president. You're always going to be referred to that.
Right. Right.
But it says, if he'll ever have the rod run and doo-wop again in downtown, are you...
Why are you asking me?
I don't know. I guess maybe they think, would you support it? Or maybe that's what they're asking.
I always supported it. Yeah. It was my car show.
Right.
I started it.
And if you want to clear the air again, because you made it a point a couple of weeks ago, you wanted to talk about it.
The mayor didn't shut it down. It was shut down by the people that were running it. And they shut it down right at the end, so there wasn't time to replace it.
Okay.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful car show.
But the text goes on to say, great hearing Danny on your program again.
Thank you.
So, yeah, we like to bring him in. Look, you know who you look like when you came in here today?
Who?
You got the flannel shirt. And you look like Hal Holbrook. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought maybe because I watched an episode of The Sopranos over the weekend. They were doing a marathon, and I love The Sopranos, and he was on an episode of The Sopranos. Maybe.
Hal Holbrook was?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was just like a one episode type deal. He was in a hospital when Tony was recovering from the gunshot wound. He was also in the hospital, and he was played a philosopher, very successful business type. But it's when you walked in, the first thing I thought was, here comes Hal Holbrook.
Yeah, he was. Hal Holbrook, he was a great actor. I can't remember who he was married to.
Yeah. But was he married to Dixie Carter of Designing Women? Or am I just totally making that up?
I don't know.
I know he was on the show. Text says, Empty G, referring to Marjorie Taylor Greene, deserves everything she's received. She's reaping the toxicity from the toxic politics she's sown.
Well, she's apologized for that. And okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow. I just look at it. I guess because I'm 75 years old, I look at these things a little different these days. I feel bad for her. I really do.
All right, it's 9:50. We got to take a break. We'll come back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
The Dave Allen Show is presented in part by Generations Ford in Huracan, part of the Eric J. Tarr family of businesses.
Seasons are changing, the kids are back in school, and cooler weather is on the way. But one thing that always remains consistent is the car buying experience at Walker Chevrolet in Nitro. You see, that's because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals, and the process at Walker is remarkably simple. They help you find a vehicle that you love at a deal that makes you smile. And don't forget, Walker is still buying cars too. Now, all makes and models are welcome, and they'll give you top dollar for it, even if you plan to buy somewhere else. But why would you? You know, it's good to know that in a world full of constant change, there are some things that remain consistent, and that some car dealers still believe in treating you like a friend with a smile and a handshake. Head to Walker Chevrolet in Nitro, in the shadow of the Interstate Bridge, just off the Nitro exit of I-64. Walker Chevrolet, making friends one deal at a time.
Sniffles and sneezes got you down? GoodRx is here to help with big savings on commonly prescribed cold and flu meds. GoodRx is free and easy to use. GoodRx is accepted at all major pharmacies like CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Just search your prescription, find a coupon, then show your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx is not insurance, but it works whether you have insurance or not. If you do, GoodRx may beat your copay price. Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com to save today.
Boats, bikes, Broncos. This holiday season, discover Charleston with Charleston Riverfront Watersports, Charleston's #1 river and road adventure company. Hop into our Bronco Raptor for a Christmas lights and holiday tour like no other. Cruise through Holly Jolly Brawley on our premium e-bikes. Or give the ultimate gift, a kids safari adventure. This wildly popular, family-friendly river safari includes kids binoculars and activity sheets for non-stop fun. Book your holiday tour or give the gift of adventure today at Charleston Riverfront Watersports.com.
Welcome back to the show. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley Community Technical College. Insurance agents in demand in the state and across the country. Bridge Valley can help you take the first step. Their insurance pre-sales licensure course prepares you to sit for the state-required property and casualty insurance licensure exam and start your career in this ever-growing field. Check out bridgevalley.edu for details. Bridge Valley Community Technical College, your career starts here. Text says, the Pete Hegseth drug boat war crime is a perfect metaphor for current America. You know they're lying. Details constantly change or come out. The boat was going the opposite direction of the U.S., but ultimately nothing will happen.
Well, the fact the boat was going the opposite direction doesn't mean much to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that those guys should have been shot. I don't know. But nothing.
And they talk about the drugs, and I'm all about whatever it takes to keep the drugs out of here. But if it's fentanyl they're talking about, it's been proven time and time again that's not where fentanyl's coming from.
Mexico.
Yeah.
From China through Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Text says, what trial related to Tupac's murder is Danny talking about?
Well, in the presentation, the guy that shot, first thing, P. Diddy paid $1 million for the hit, but he wanted Suge Knight killed also. So there were two guys involved, and on a proffer, one guy confessed, and he's the one going on trial.
Okay.
And because they didn't kill Suge Knight, he only got $500,000. So the guy that confessed, he didn't get any money. So I'm telling you to watch that. If you want to watch, look, I'm an old man. I like to watch stuff like that.
I do too.
I don't know anything about rap or hip hop or any of that stuff, but I except for the politics of it.
Mm-hmm.
And who doesn't like Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
I mean, I love Snoop Dogg.
You talk about somebody who came out of nowhere and has made a career out of just being Snoop Dogg. Forget about the music. I mean, the guy's a star. I mean, he's in everything, and he has been for over 30 years.
He's so smart. Mm-hmm. He's I'm friends with people out in Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see him this weekend. I'm going out there this weekend. I'll see him. They went to high school with him.
Mm-hmm.
because that's where he's from.
Yeah. Text says, this is going to be a long one, Danny, so strap in. Why does Trump do it? It's because basically amongst their own circles, when we hear a lot of anti-American BS stuff from lefties in Congress and the media, especially the self-destruction infiltration that happened in the Biden administration, letting 12 million illegals in here, we say the same stuff. The only thing is he says it publicly. About his name-calling, really, Hitler, Nazi, pedophile, white supremacist, racist, homophobe, transphobe, xenophobe, etc. All this stuff that he's been called for 10 years by most everybody who loved him before he came down that escalator in 2015, not to mention trying to put him in prison and being shot. That's why.
That doesn't justify it. He's the president. You think Nixon wasn't called names? Or any of these presidents?
We know Obama was.
Sure he
and
was.
Clinton and Reagan and Bush.
And sure they were. That doesn't justify it.
Yeah.
Just because he was called names. You don't, I made that mistake, taking the bait. He doesn't have to take the bait.
No, it's a
difference in style.
Right.
My style is Mitt Romney. That's my style. Or Richard Nixon. That's just not my style.
Text says, Danny, have you heard any specifics about the latest legal wrangling over the Hilton brand hotel at the former Sears site? Matt Sutton said the whole group is once again interfering, and that hotel developer has ever completed a project in Charleston.
Oh, what, the Patels? I wonder who he's talking about.
Not TJ. Would you happen to know what we're talking about here?
Not off the top of my head. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Well, but he lost that case. When they went to tear the building down, he lost the case. The mall did. But you're talking about a Hilton Gardens.
Yeah, and it's going to happen.
I believe that's the Patel group.
Okay, all right. So you and I have talked a little bit about the town center in the past, and people keep circulating. There was a picture circulating. You probably saw it on social media of the Santa Claus sitting down there with nobody around. It is sad.
It's very sad, and it didn't need to happen. But if you were intentionally trying to destroy an enterprise, you do exactly what they're doing.
Text says, what about, going back to the drug boats again, what about the fact that the boats that have been blown up, boats of that size, they can't get to America unless they're carrying 3,000 pounds of fuel, which seems unlikely if they're also carrying fentanyl.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean, or cocaine, if you don't mind. It's not fentanyl. But it doesn't mean they couldn't stop somewhere and get gas, one of the islands, I'm lost. Nothing's going to happen. It's just talk. It's just something to absorb the space.
Does Hegseth keep his job?
Yeah. Yeah, he shouldn't.
Does he complete the term? I'll say that.
No, I don't know about that.
I don't think he will either. And that's not uncommon, by the way, for secretaries of war or defense or whatever you want to call them. That's not uncommon in
well, now he doesn't have anywhere to go, Dave. I remember he was a weekend guy on Fox. Where's he going to go?
Well, he's going to go the Marjorie Taylor Greene route. He can go back to that, I guess. Danny will not be with us next week. He'll be traveling. We'll see you in 2 weeks, my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. All right, TJ, what you got today?
Matt Christensen, CDC has changed Hep B vax guidance. We'll discuss cafe standards on automobiles. Okay. Chris Miller gets into it with us on that. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about what's coming up at the legislature, Dave.
All right. We'll see you later today on Metro News Midday. Be careful out there. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston, 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.